Alright guys, today I'm going to walk through how we are making our new raised corrugated beds. So some of the things you're going to need are 2 sheets of this corrugated metal. So our beds are 4 feet wide by 8 feet long and about over 13 inches tall. So you'll need 2 of these. We got them at Home Depot and they're about $15 a piece. And then we have some cedar 2x4s. They're 8 feet long and we got them at Lowe's. And I think they're about $11 a piece. And then some other things you're going to need. These are kind of self-tapping screws. You'll need them for going into the metal. We got these at Home Depot, and I think they're about $37 for, there's 400 of them in there. Some other things you'll need is definitely some wood glue, one that's waterproof and exterior. Titebond is a great glue. And then any outdoor screws that you have laying around. We have these from when we redid our deck. We use 3-inch and 2.5-inch. Oh, and these are 1.5-inch. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll cut this down right down the middle so it ends up being at 13 inches. So we'll go ahead and set that up and show you how we do that. Alright, so I got everything set up to cut down these corrugated panels. They end up being about 26 inches wide, so we'll cut them right down the ridge at 13 inches all the way down. I am using a jigsaw, and then for this we actually bought some blades that are made to cut metal. Picked these up at Lowe's. I think it was maybe about 11 bucks for all these, but obviously you get more blades for other projects you may need. Obviously need some safety glasses because this stuff will throw up metal spurs, and some ear protection because it's quite loud. And then underneath, the support all the way down, if you can see it, we have some blocks underneath there. Helps it from bowing. And then if you have somebody else that can help you, you may need someone else to stand on it as you go down because it shakes pretty bad. So we'll go ahead and get this cut down.
The top plate and the legs. So the box is going to be 4 feet wide by 8 feet long. So 2 of these we'll leave them as is in terms of length. And then one of these we'll cut in half to give us the 4 foot depth. And one of these here we'll cut a bunch out so we get our legs. So we'll go ahead and figure out what to do with this board and cut the rest up. The top plate for our 4 foot section, the short side of the bed. So we're just going to cut this one in half. So we'll just measure out 4 feet. Alright, so on this one, we want to do a half flap joint, so I want to notch this out. So we're going to set this fence in the saw blade height to remove just that piece of material there. And we'll do the other thing, the same on the opposite side for the board that comes in at 90 degrees. So in order to do that, to be safe about it, we're going to take a roughly 2-inch board here. We're going to stand it off the fence to get our depth. Actually, it's better if we do a little OCD. So we can go right about there. And a little wiggle. And that blade's just a hair over 3/4 of an inch high. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this through the saw like this. I'll use my miter and the rail here. I'm going to put this piece of wood there. I'm going to set it up, and then to avoid any kickback, we're going to take this out before we make our cut. So what we're doing now is we're going to make a cut into the end of this board. If you had a bandsaw, this would be a good time to break it out. I don't, so we're going to use the circular saw. I like the battery powered ones because if the wood starts to bind up a little bit, it just stops. There's really not much kickback, if anything. So it's pretty low risk for this situation, which is good. But anyway, going to try to cut this as best I can up 90 degrees, and then we'll finish this cut with a handsaw because this blade's not deep enough to go all the way through. Of course, I got to actually put my mark on it so I know where to take this off. Alright, so we didn't cut as deep as we needed to before, but we'll just finish that off with a handsaw. So I got my depth set here to about 13/16. So we'll just trace our line right there to the edge, and I'm going to make my cut from this angle, so we need to be able to see what we're doing. We're going to trace another line here. This end grain's a little rough, so we'll do it a couple times, and that will give us where we need to put our saw. I'll do the other one over here. So I messed it up.
Bless you.
Thanks. I don't really run the air cleaner when you're making videos. Too noisy. Okay. Alright, so we'll get that cut. Alright, so I got my saw set at maximum depth. It doesn't really like maximum depth, but it works out alright. Alright.
Woo! A little smoky.
Alright. So we're going to get our 1 foot leg going. Now that we got 6 of these, 4 of them are going to be one side of our leg. I'm going to take 2 of these and I'm going to cut them down roughly in half, and they will make this L part of the leg. So we'll do that now. That'll give us 4 of those. And so I have no need to make this any smaller or like make it perfect. So we're going to go right down the middle here. All right, so 3.5. So there we go. We got 4 of those. Not the prettiest, but it's for a garden.
Alright guys, so to make the corner post, we're going to take our 1 foot section and then the 1 foot section that we ripped down in half. Going to take some outdoor glue. Put that on there. Line up the edges. And we're going to go ahead and clamp it so that it doesn't slide around on me when I'm attempting to screw it. And I'm using some of these 2.5 inch outdoor screws. Again, they're from leftover from a deck project, so any outdoor screws that you have could definitely work. We'll go ahead and put 3 of those in. And we'll go ahead and do that 3 more times so that we end up with the corner post.
Alright, we've got 2 pieces of our wood cut, so I'm going to show you what this joint looks like when we put it together. Alright, so we've got 2 pieces cut out like this, and they will go together just like that. We're going to put a lot of glue in there, screw it up, and hopefully this will work. I've used a lot of joints outside, and so far I think these are the most successful. The sun's going to be beating them on all day, and we don't want anything to warp these as much as possible, so there you go.
Alright guys, that wraps up part 1 of our tutorial on our raised garden beds. We hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment box below. We hope to have part 2 out to you soon, which will go over actually how we assembled the beds. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.